And now enjoy this free Jason Modcast show.
The world of Mythbits.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition fuck.
Okay, maybe you're not doing the intro.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the World of Mythbits podcast. I am your host, Mike Lutz, and I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Stephanie Party.
Shut up.
We are off to a wonderful start.
Oh, fuck. Aren't I? 2 seconds in. A fucking train wreck.
Couldn't even get the name of the podcast out. I'm impressed.
Well, you know, they clicked on the link. They know what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. They heard the opening.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, they did. So what's new and exciting?
I got a new phone.
You got a new phone? What'd you get?
I got a new phone. I got peer pressured into an Apple iPhone. Not going to name names.
Who would ever peer pressure you?
Mike and Dave. Mike and Dave.
Those two guys sound like they're knowledgeable gentlemen. You should listen to them way more often.
Well, I usually have to because I talk to them like every day, all day.
Yeah, that's yeah, you really have no choice.
No, I don't. No.
But
what's scary with this phone, though, is I had to get my daughter, my 17-year-old, to show me how to use it.
Well, it's not an old person flip phone anymore, so that's why
I didn't have a flip phone.
So defensive about the flip phone.
I had a Samsung. The only reason why I'm defensive about the flip phone is because the previous provider that I was with, not mentioning names,
Bell?
The previous provider that I was with,
Rogers.
When your contract came up, like, you know, you sign up for a 2-year contract. And you
Sounds
get this
like a
really
Bell
great
contract.
Deal. Yes, but it wasn't called Bell. But anyway.
Oh,
I know everything goes through Bell or Rogers.
Yeah.
Well, the last free upgrade that came around, they tried to tell me that a flip phone was an upgrade from my full QWERTY keyboard. And I'm explaining to the girl on the phone who can barely
high.
Yeah, pretty much. She can barely speak English.
Awesome.
And I'm trying to ask her, how is scrolling through each number to get to a letter an upgrade from being able to just type a full thought?
The buttons are bigger.
She kind of came back with some bullshit about it's faster or I don't know. And I'm like, can I get online on the internet with it? Well, no, it doesn't have that. Well, no.
This conversation's over, lady.
Pretty much. So I said, okay, well, you know, I'm done.
Yeah.
Nice knowing you.
Well,
see you later.
I had a flip phone when they first came out. I think it was like a Bell Solo Mobile.
Yeah, like back in the 90s.
One of those ones, yeah. And
with the antenna that you had to pull up.
Yes, because if you didn't pull the antenna up, you had no reception at all.
Nope. And that lovely orange light up
screen
pad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was cool in October.
That's true. It was the only time of year that the phone actually
meant something.
Was in style.
Yeah. No, like I did get really good at using that, like the T7 or whatever that protocol is for pushing all the button to get all the letters for texting.
Oh yeah.
I did get good at that just because I had to. So
yeah.
And then after I think that one died or I killed it. One of the whatever. I switched to what was it, STC or something like that? It was one of the first smartphones, but it was tiny, and I had to use a stylus, and like my meat hooks weren't designed for something that tiny. So like I said, I'm poking away at this thing with a stylus, and then I ended up, after that contract was over, I ended up going to Apple iPhone 4. Yeah, iPhone 4. And then that one ended up, like I said, I skipped all the upgrades for as long as I could, and then the phone finally died. Just outright died. And then I went to 6, and I killed that one. And instead of getting, I think it was kind of recently, so 7s and 8s were starting to come out. I went back and I got myself a 6S instead, because I like it because it has a headphone jack. That's the only reason I still like that one.
That's what I have, is because it's a free upgrade and I don't have to pay for the phone.
Yeah.
They give you the extinct models.
Yeah, they do. Well,
you're always 2 or 3 models behind the newest one, but I mean, I've never had an iPhone, so this is totally brand new to me.
Yeah, well, the one I was looking for, I wanted to get a 6S Plus, the big version. And I said, I went to the store, and they said, oh, yeah, we got one right here. And then I get to the store, and they bait and switched me. And they said, oh, no, if that's the one you want, you're going to have to order that in.
Oh,
nice. You fuckers. And then they said, well, do you want us to order one in? Well, yeah, sure. And then I think it was, they said, well, it's going to take a couple weeks for it to get here. I said, what? All right, whatever. So a couple weeks later, I still haven't heard from them. So I called them up and said, hey, has my phone showed up? They said, oh, we're having a little bit of a difficulty. We can't really find any more 6S Pluses. I went, what? They said, well, you sold me one. Like, you got me into the store by saying you were going to get me this 6S Plus. And they went, well, sorry, you're out of luck. You want to come in and get a new contract and a new Samsung? I went, fuckers. So I ended up going back, and I said, I got problem with my old phone. It only had like 16 gigs of memory. So with all the stuff that I had, like all the operating system and shit like that, it ate up, almost 10 gig of memory right off the bat. So I'm constantly like, I'll load up an app. Hey, this is cool. Then I have to delete it to get something else, or I've got too many pictures on it and I've got no memory. So I decided to fuck these guys. And I ended up, my next phone, I ended up getting like 128 gigs of memory. I went,
holy shit.
This should take care of every problem I think I ever have.
No doubt. Mine only has 32 gigs. But
yeah, well, that was an option.
My Samsung, I think, had 16 gigs, and then I put a 32 gig SD card in it, which didn't work.
No?
That's the only thing. Yeah. The SD card apparently was corrupt or something. I don't know.
Oh,
it didn't work. The only thing I don't like about this phone is that I can't put an SD card in it.
No, they're not expandable.
So
that's
32 is it.
Yeah. So you're going to end up doing what I did. You're going to bump up against your capacity, and you're going to have to start deciding what can be cut and what do you.
I've already removed a bunch of shit off here that I'm never going to use.
Yeah, like I said, I think you do that with a lot of the home apps that Apple preloads into their shit.
The wallet, and Apple Pay, and
no, not going to use that.
No,
but.
Still haven't found out where it'll tell me how many gigs I've used already, because I still haven't loaded any of my music on there. Because it's an Apple, so I had to download iTunes to my laptop.
Yeah. Go to your settings.
Yeah. You're going to walk me through this. Okay.
I'm going to walk you through this right now.
Hey, kiddies, here's your iPhone lesson for today. Oh, God, now I sound like Dave. Kiddies. I wonder if anybody's ever told him that sounds a tad condescending.
It's a tribute to Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith.
I know.
Does that.
I know.
So, but settings.
Yes.
General.
General. I have like this list of shit. Oh, general. There we are. Ah. Okay.
Scroll down. It'll say storage.
Oh, there we are.
Hit that.
Holy crap.
There you go. See?
14.8 gigs already.
What the fuck do you have on there?
A bunch of shit. Podcasts, GarageBand, Pages. I like how it tells me, these apps are never used. And there's Facebook, Messenger, Snapchat, my banking app.
Yeah.
But it transferred a lot of, I could do this phone swap thing from my Samsung to my iPhone.
Oh,
so
okay.
it took a lot of the apps from my Samsung and transferred them over.
Oh, okay. That makes life a little bit easier.
Oh shit, now all of a sudden it's down to 12.7. How did I just lose 2 gigs?
Well,
I didn't do anything.
It probably calculated, it'll do, it'll look at what's going on. So initially it'll say, oh, this is this memory. And then it'll say, okay, it'll actually measure what is being used. And then it'll spit out the real number.
Yeah, like Firefox I can get rid of. And
yeah, you don't need GarageBand.
No, I don't play that game.
Well, it's not a game, for one thing.
No, you write songs, and I checked it out.
Yeah. I'm using, I record this show on GarageBand on my laptop.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. I prefer, I've tried Audacity, and I just...
Well, with Audacity, too, it's limited, and you have a certain amount of time to use it for free, and then you have to pay for it. Yeah.
Well, like I said, this, I'm using, the older version of GarageBand, because they sent an upgrade, air quote, upgrade, and it fucked everything up. And I was trying to record a podcast with it, and I'm just like, what? There was nothing there that I used the last time, a week earlier for a podcast. And I hopped on Google and I said, how the fuck do I get rid of this? How do I get the old version of GarageBand back? And somebody wrote that the old version is already on your laptop. You just have to go back and find it. So, but it wasn't that hard to find because it was sitting right pretty in the files section. So I just dragged and dropped it right onto my desktop, and now I know where it is at all times. So I haven't even thought about using the upgrade ever since that it came out.
I'm having a Bridezilla moment.
You're getting choked by your own hair?
I am. It's because I just got out of the shower and I haven't put any of my hair stuff in to tame all of this, as you can see. Well, the viewers can't see, but yeah. If you've ever watched The Hilarious House of Frankenstein?
I love that show.
Bridezilla?
Yes. Yes. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. Like I said, wake up in the morning before going to school and just flip on the TV, and it was that, and I would get some of the channels out of Detroit, and I could watch some of the old Superman serials.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so I would wake up and get my stuff together, and I'd watch Hilarious House of Frankenstein and Superman, and Cisco Kid was still in reruns.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how old I am.
I watched when I was allowed to watch TV in the morning because getting me out of bed was a chore. I would get up Saturday mornings at 7:00 to watch Hilarious House of Frankenstein.
Yes.
I would watch Down by the Riverbank, and that was that Hammy Hamster.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that, and then there was. Do you remember David and Goliath?
David and Goliath.
They were
Is that a cartoon?
Yeah. And then there was Hercules.
Yes, I remember Hercules. I love Hercules.
Hey, Newt!
Yep.
I love Newton, man.
Yeah, Hercules.
I loved him.
Hey, Herc. That was a great show.
Hey, Herc.
Yeah. Another one that like I said, I found an old magazine at a thrift shop, and it was they were kind of an autobiographical story about this guy that he did in this comic book. And he was talking about soupy sales.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching Soupy Sales out of Detroit as well, and I just like so much fun. And I said this guy talking about it in this magazine. I was like, I miss Soupy Sales shows and stuff like that, like the early morning comedy shows for kids, and the Saturday
Popeye.
What's another one, like the Rotoscope Superman, Spider-Man and his Super Friends.
Yeah,
and shit. Oh,
then you get into the 80s and you've got, oh my God, it was right there. It was right there. By the power of Grayskull.
Oh, that's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Thank you.
Well,
and She-Ra.
Yeah.
Don't forget She-Ra.
I said, oddly enough, I just watched the documentary on Netflix about the history, the entire history of He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Really?
It is fascinating. Like it was like manufactured from the ground up by this toy company. There was not like a previous thing.
So they basically put it out there to sell toys.
Yeah, they did. And
sold a shitload of toys.
Did they ever? And then, like I said,
I had all the characters.
Oh.
I had Grayskull.
Yeah.
I had Skeletor and his domain.
Yep.
And
Snake Mountain.
Yep. Couldn't remember the name of it.
Snake
I had
Mountain. Castle Grayskull.
I played with those with my Barbies too.
Well, yeah. So. No, you mixing the streams with Mattel and Hasbro right there. So
I was a girly tomboy. I'd climb trees.
Somewhat of a contradiction in terms, but
exactly. What? Hello, have you met me?
Yes, once or twice. Once or twice. So.
Oh, this is driving me insane.
What do you need?
I need.
Do you have a
haircut?
A haircut. Well,
I don't even have a scrunchie here beside me.
Oh my God, you're scrunchieless.
I am.
Bullshit.
And my kid's gone, and my dog doesn't fetch.
Oh.
Shit.
Well,
all right,
you're
just gonna have to deal with it.
Stuff it in the back of your shirt.
You didn't even notice. I dressed up for you.
Thank you. I did.
No holy T-shirt.
Well,
I have my palm tree and pineapple pajamas on.
There
Say
you
that
go.
3 times fast.
No.
Couple of more drinks of mead and you will be.
Well, maybe. All right. So, I have a couple news articles here I want to run by you just to get your opinion on this.
See, I don't come prepared.
Yeah, well, professionalism.
Yeah, well, I got in trouble for saying that, so.
Well, you're trying too hard.
I just, fuck it.
Yeah.
Throw it out the window.
All right, here we go. We got something by the Associated Press. Man fined $124 for kicking seagull that ate his cheeseburger. Hampton, New Hampshire. A man accused
of course, it's an American seagull.
After the drubbing we took at the hands of Rebecca and Aaron and Dave from... So, okay, here's the story. Hampton, New Hampshire. A man accused of kicking a seagull that tried to eat his cheeseburger at a New Hampshire beach has been fined $124. Police investigated the report from a bystander at a Hampton beach earlier this summer. NH1 reports the man Nate Ranclose said he had just returned from getting a cheeseburger and fries and was sitting on the sand. He said seagulls got to the burger and he spun around with his leg out to shoo them away. But he struck the bird. He said it was a simple mistake. A witness said it appeared the bird's leg was injured and that it struggled to fly away. New Hampshire Fish and Game's Lieutenant Adam Cheney said seagulls are protected under federal law.
Yeah, they are apparently.
Yeah, I kind of
here in Canada too.
Yeah, fucking shit hawks.
Chickens.
Yeah,
shit hawks. Yeah.
I kind of have a related story from personal history. When our kids were much younger, my lovely wife and I and a friend took all our kids to Storybook Garden in London, Ontario. And we're sitting there for lunch, and one of the kids was sitting in a stroller. So, we're sitting around one of the picnic tables, and we give one of the kids a French fry. All of a sudden, this Canadian Goose comes over, and the goose snaps up that French fry, and in the process, bites the kid's finger, and the kid lets out a blood-curdling scream. Now, what is the one thing you were always taught to, like, if you're hiking in the woods and you come across a mother bear, never get in between the mother and her cub. Never threaten the young.
Exactly. Uh-oh. That didn't bode well for the goose, did it?
No, it did not. So we're sitting there, and the kid screams. My wife hops up like she was shot out of a cannon, and she punts this goose right in the ass. I almost fell off the bench. I was laughing so hard. She turns around, looks at me, and goes, "What? What's so funny?" I went, "Nothing. Not a damn thing."
Wise man.
I went, "That was a great kick, honey." And that goose had just learned a valuable lesson. So I just
for our American friends, this is why the Canadian geese are so fucking pissy when they get there.
Yeah, no doubt.
They don't fly. We punt them down. Oh my god.
Yeah. So that was just like, it happened like in the blink of an eye. I've never seen this woman move so fast with such purpose in my entire life.
That's her baby.
No, it wasn't even her baby. It was our friend's kid.
So mama instinct just kicked in.
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna kill this fucking bird. And I'm sure if she had less witnesses, that bird would have been throttled and thrown over a fence someplace. So
probably.
I just like, this is the greatest day at Storybook Gardens I've ever had. Because I got to watch my wife just fucking
beat up a goose.
Fucking kick a field goal with a fucking goose. Just fucking fantastic.
Oh my god.
Like I said, I saw that seagull story and I thought, I have to tell both of those stories. So,
oh yeah.
Because they said they go hand in hand. And it's or would that be?
Although you can't get in trouble for kicking a goose.
No, because it's cool to kick geese, especially Canadian geese, because they're dicks, and you can do whatever.
Oh, and they're big fuckers too.
Yeah.
Where I live, I'm right beside a park, which has a lake.
Yeah.
And every fall, all the geese from all over Ontario, I swear to God, they all come to this lake. So I get to watch the flight patterns over top and over my house and all of that. And that's a lot of fun because you get to watch all the newly born geese learning how to fly in formation.
Oh, okay.
And it's hilarious because you'll see one that'll decide, there's always one that decides, okay, I'm going this way. And two other geese will come out of formation and get them and bring them back. And he'll stay in formation for about 5 minutes. And then he's like, butterflies, and gone again. But they all congregate down on the beach at the lake.
Suntanning.
So the town has tried everything to stop them from being down there, from fireworks to
a combine.
Everything. They've given up. The geese have won.
Oh.
So now what the town does is, you know that big plastic yellow mesh barrier shit that they put up?
Yep.
They just put that all around the beach, around the entire lake, where people can walk, so that the geese have their spot and we have our spot.
That makes
sense.
sense.
The geese are pretty good about it. They stay down on the beach.
Well, it's closer to the water, right?
Seagulls aren't happy about it, though.
Well, fuck seagulls.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No,
I can't stand seagulls.
you know, it's
I really can't.
dirty animal. Sky rats.
Ugh.
Oh,
Beach chickens.
yeah. I have a little piece of trivia about Canadian geese. You know, like I said, they fly in that V formation.
Yeah.
Do you know why the one leg is always longer than the other one?
I never actually noticed.
Yeah, if you look at a formation of like any like,
I always thought they were kind of flying tilted, so it looked like one leg was just kind of dangling down and the other one was tucked up.
no, not the specific birds, but like when they fly in the V.
Yeah.
Okay, one line of the V
Oh, okay.
is longer than the other one.
Yeah. Why?
There's more geese in that line.
Well, obviously. Such an asshole. I got 2 words for you.
That was awesome.
I got 2 words for you.
It's not too often I get to tell that story.
You,
To
how
somebody
long have
new?
you been holding that one in?
I've had that for a very long time, and my kids get tired of me telling them the story.
Oh, it's a dad
So
joke.
it is definitely a dad joke.
Dad
So
joke.
whenever I get a chance to bust it out on somebody new, I'm busting that bad boy out on somebody new. Because it sounds like I have something very scientific to say. And
You do.
I do.
You had me thinking.
Why would that one leg in that V be longer than the other one? And they said, inevitably, there's more fucking geese in that one line.
You're such an asshole.
That's beside the point.
You got me with that.
I know. I did. I get everybody with that.
It's your one good joke.
It's my one good joke. It's my go-to. Like I said, the quiver of joke arrows has dwindled greatly as the kids have gotten older. So I have to look for new victims.
True.
I got another news article.
All right.
All right, you ready for this one? Another one by the Associated Press.
Hit me with it.
All right, grocery store worker faces felony theft charges for eating $9,200 worth of deli ham.
I'm trying to fathom how you could eat it.
Well,
Was it over a period of time?
the article explains how a person can eat $9,200 worth of deli ham.
Okay.
Bolivar, Ohio. Authorities in eastern Ohio say a grocery store employee has been charged with felony theft for helping herself to deli ham for years. See, there is. Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Department Sheriff's Deputy Brian Hale tells the Columbus Dispatch that an 8-year employee of a regional grocery chain, Giant Eagle, was charged Friday with stealing food estimated by the store to be worth $9,200. The store's that's a lot of meat.
That is a lot of meat.
Yeah. The store's loss prevention manager received a tip, so there's a fucking rat in this grocery store. Loss prevention manager received a tip that an employee had been eating 3 to 5 slices of ham nearly every day over 8 years. Authorities say she also sometimes ate salami. Oh,
Oh my God. So she's back there working her ass off, cutting the ham, and she snitches a slice or two, especially, the ones that aren't perfect.
Yep.
And now she's been charged with a federal crime.
Felony theft. Other details, including her name, weren't available immediately. The store is in Bolivar, some 70 miles south of Cleveland. Okay.
How long? So what did they do? Did they either sat and watched her until it got up to an amount where they could charge her with a felony, or sat down with a calculator and figured out, okay, so she's been here for 8 years. If she does this on every shift, and how much each slice is, that's dedicated.
Well, what they probably did, they probably.
What'd she do to piss him off?
I don't know. probably not cutting that person in on the ham.
No shit.
So probably what they did, he said they got the tip, the loss prevention manager got the tip, and they watched her on camera. And they would watch her. They would watch her, and they said, okay.
Can't do nothing anymore.
No. Oh, no. They said there's too many snitches and too many rats. Everybody just shut the hell up. So they watched her probably over like a month. And they would calculate what she would take. And then they just, if they said, okay, she does this every day, she probably started this right from the get-go. And then they just calculated $9,200 worth of food. Thank you very much. Which, I like.
Wow. That's theft over $5,000.
Could you imagine going into jail? Hey, what'd you get pinched for?
I ate ham.
I ate ham. You're definitely getting shanked. You're definitely getting shanked first.
You're going to be somebody's bitch for sure.
Or they're going to leave you alone because, like, this fucking woman's crazy. So
she's in here for eating ham. Okay.
Yeah,
was it really ham? Or
was
it, Jeremy ham? Because that's how, if it was me, that's how I would play it off.
Was it
if I got
really
arrested
ham?
and I got put in jail, and they asked me, what are you in here for? And I would do the whole crazy eye thing. I was eating ham.
Yeah. My 3 kids are coming to visit, so.
Yeah. I used to have 4, but we ate them. That's what we used to tell our boys when they were little, before we had our daughter. Is, Andrew would always, I want another brother, I want another brother. Well, you did have one. The roast we ate last week, well, that was the last of them.
This a couple winters ago was really rough. So.
Well, no, he was a bad kid, and he wouldn't do as he was told, wouldn't go to bed on time. Worked really well when they were little. Then they got wise.
I was going to say, and they're really digging those scars, too, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my grandson's going to be so tormented by his dad. I damaged that child.
Wow.
In the best possible way.
Okay. No, like, this article also got me thinking about another personal story. Like, when I was younger, I used to work at a fish and chip joint where I live. And I worked by myself. And if it would get busy, like sometimes you lose track of how much fish you're throwing in the oil.
Yeah.
Or did you lose track?
Yeah. Or you accidentally throw in a couple extra pieces because you're fucking hungry.
Exactly. And like I said, you can't serve that to a customer because this is a very fresh fried fish restaurant. Fresh fried fish.
You said that rather
You say
well.
that 3 times fast.
Fresh fried fish.
That's
How
one.
many times?
3.
Fresh fried fish. Fresh fried.
Fuck
it.
Fuck it. All right. No, but like I said, I would like throw an extra piece in there and like, can't have that lying around. Nom, nom, nom. So that reminded me of that story too. So, one of the things talking about this poor woman eating her Jeremy ham, I was watching a documentary from Netflix about Inside the Criminal Mind.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I watched that.
Yeah, and they were talking about the serial killers like Bundy and Dahmer and Gacy and those guys.
Yeah.
And they're talking
Pogo the clown.
Yeah. They had a list at the end of it. And they're going, a lot of these serial killers all had examples of this, and they're running off a couple things.
And you're just ticking them off,
and I'm just
going like, yep.
Tick, tick, fuck. Oh, fuck. God damn. I'm like one bad day away from a fucking record, so.
Pretty much. We are serial killers, Mike.
Oh, it was just brutal. I'm and then.
It's scary.
And then the worst part about it was I'm going like, I'm smart. Can I get away with this now that I know the criteria that they look for?
Uh-huh.
So.
And then you start watching all the investigation Discovery Channel shows.
Yeah. Nope.
And seeing how these idiots got caught, going, well, I wouldn't do that.
Well, yeah.
And I wouldn't do that.
Dahmer kept freezers full of body parts, and like he made an altar to himself with body parts of the guys that he killed.
Well, he also had those big containers full of acid breaking down the body parts. So, dude. And he let one get away. That's how he got caught.
Well, I don't think he let him get away. I think that dude escaped on his own. He's going like, fuck, gotta get out of here. And then...
He was determined he was not going to be rump roasted.
Oh, no. He, like I said, there's some very, definitely determined not to become poop. So...
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that right there is an awesome motivator. So... what else did I...
Yes, they call human beings long pig.
Yeah. That I heard that one time and it's like, oh, they have a name for it. That's great.
Yep. Long pig.
Oh, man. I got one more story, unless you want to talk about something.
I just got one that has popped up since the last time we were freestyling.
Okay.
And it's on Huffington Post. It's been everywhere. You've probably seen it, about that bride that completely flipped her shit because none of her guests, she demanded $1,500 from all of her guests to her wedding. Now, okay, let me read this. Let me read it to you.
Okay.
Bride goes ballistic after wedding guests refuse to pay $1,500 cash. The fact that a psychic helped her pick a wedding spot was a clue that this wasn't going to end well.
Oh.
If you're planning a wedding right now, here's a quick and easy tip to reduce stress, strengthen your friendships, and keep your wedding on track. Don't ask your guests to give you $1,500 in cash. Seems reasonable, right?
Seems reasonable.
Not for everyone, apparently. An anonymous bride who was initially identified as Canadian Susan didn't follow this sage advice and called off her wedding after her guests refused the bizarre and unreasonable request.
Yeah, that seems very unreasonable.
As a result, her over-the-top post-wedding planning Facebook rant, in which she calls her friends the not very nice C word, who have ruined my marriage and life, has gone viral. A follow-up post by someone claiming to be her cousin says Susan is actually American. Keep in mind, this was posted in a private Facebook group where content is user-submitted and unverified. And, of course, anyone can make anything up on the internet.
Yeah.
Also, consider that what you're about to listen to is fact or fiction, is truly a wild ride into the very phenomenon that weddings make people do nutty things. It's a big, long rant that she has, but basically in the rant she goes on to say that her fiancé suggested just eloping or going down to the town hall or, not having this fantastic $50,000 destination wedding. And she flipped out on him and told him basically if he loved her, then, he would be behind her. And it ends up in all of these Facebook posts, he ends up with the maid of honor. He leaves Bridezilla and goes to the maid of honor, which I think was her sister.
Smart.
It says the post starts off with the writer Susan expressing sadness that her upcoming wedding has been canceled. She then talks about her plan to delete Facebook and backpack in South America, exploring my soul and ridding myself of toxic energy brought on by my friends and family. She and her now ex-fiancé had saved up $15,000 for their wedding. Since our love was like a fairy tale, we wanted an extravagant blowout wedding, she wrote. With some help from a local psychic, red flag alert, they decided on a destination wedding to Aruba. The total cost, $60,000. For those of you keeping track, that leaves $45,000 unaccounted for. So, how could we have our dream wedding that we dreamed of without proper funding, she asked. Good question. Perhaps the answer is you can't.
No, you can't. Like if you holy fuck. How fucking stupid is this woman?
She did what etiquette would agree no one should ever do. She asked her guests to foot the bill for the extravagant destination wedding she couldn't afford. We sacrificed so much and only asked each guest for $1,500. That's right, only $1,500. It's unclear whether these are American or Canadian dollars,
Well,
since we don't know for sure where Susan lives.
they could be Mexican pesos. It doesn't matter. I
No
said,
shit.
you don't. Like,
It's a ton of money.
you don't charge admission to your wedding. That's what she's doing. That's what she did.
Now, this is the HuffingtonPost.ca, by the way. So this next paragraph is for our American friends. Somehow, the maid of honor, which is spelled the American way for what it's worth.
Yeah,
and
that's just
in
spell
quotes.
check. So
Go away. Offered $5,000, and the groom's family offered $3,000. And then only 8 people answered yes to the RSVP with a $1,500 check.
Jesus.
These 8
Really?
people need to be hunted down and slapped.
Yeah. At the very
Susan.
least.
Susan, of course, is horrified by that. But the fact that 8 people were actually willing to go along with her request rather than 0 is actually astonishing.
Yeah.
If they were trying to cover $45,000, that meant 30 wedding guests got the request for $1,500. 8 out of 30 ain't bad.
Well, okay. If it was just to cover, then it would be 30. I have a feeling this broad invited like hundreds of people
Oh,
at
more than likely.
$1,500 a pop. So, like,
Okay.
she probably has a guest list of like 200 people of her closest friends and relations.
It gets better.
Oh, how could it possibly get better?
It gets better. It gets better.
Okay.
For reasons that aren't specified and that are probably completely unfair, given just how kind and reasonable she's shown herself to be up to this point, some of the people who pledged money, including the groom's family and the maid of honor, began to rescind their offers.
Yeah.
A GoFundMe account raised only $250. Then her loved ones did the truly unthinkable. They told her that she was being unreasonable and asking for too much. Her fiancé suggested a cheap Vegas wedding, a suggestion she did not take kindly to. Her quote in her rant was, "Am I some hooch piece of fucking trash? A hooker?" They broke up.
I have a feeling she dumped him.
Oh, I don't know.
Or this dude wised the fuck up and went, I have to get away from this crazy bitch on the fucking quickest path possible.
Oh, shit. Run, dude, run.
They got 15. Okay, they saved up 15 grand already, right? That's what they said. They already had 15 grand.
And then 8 people gave them $1,500.
more. Plus
You do the
what?
math.
So plus what? 8 grand from the maid of honor, sister, and the groom's
parents.
Okay, so they got close to 25 grand already.
That's a hell of a fucking party.
Yeah. You go to Vegas, go to the little white chapel, drive through, have a quickie.
Get married by Elvis.
I do, and you still got $23,000 to blow in Vegas.
No shit.
You could you're getting a great suite at a really good hotel, and you're gonna party your asses off for a week.
Yep.
Don't even
Excuse
think
me while
about
I
getting on the
kick my
deck.
cat.
I got a cat that's aiming for my desk too. So
He's down here by all the wires, and he's chewing.
Yep.
You ever seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Fuck yes.
Ow! Oh, son of a bitch, you little...
Oh, he switched from the wire to your toe?
Yeah,
Fucker. Kick him.
he's part Siamese, and I swear to God, we should have named him Wolverine. Because when his claws come out, they come out like Wolverine's,
Oh.
and they're just as long,
That's terrifying.
but they come out in sections, like...
She put
And then there's this, like, claw.
put boxing gloves on him.
How? Oh, he drew blood too, little bastard.
Do you know,
You're lucky I didn't get a pedicure today, or I'd be really mad at you. Messed up my pedicure.
fucking cat.
He's so cute, though.
Yeah.
His name is Onyx, but my husband calls him Prince Onyx. Because he walks through this place like he owns it. The dog's afraid of him.
Well, he's an entitled little bitch, so fucking slap
seriously,
him around.
all the dog has to do is step on him, and that's the end of the cat.
There you go. Yeah, but dogs are dumb that way.
Okay, so carrying on.
Carrying on with Bridezilla.
Someone who identified herself as Susan's cousin added some background info. Susan has long been entitled, but has never before been this obnoxious, she says. She grew up on a farm and in recent years has gotten deeply into the Kardashians, social media, and designer labels. When I try to analyze her and her entitled behavior, I believe deep down she's very insecure about her status and how she stacks up to others, the cousin wrote. She also doubts Susan is actually going to go to South America. She's never been outside of the U.S., apparently, and said she suspects Susan may have been drinking when the post was published. It was only up for about 15 minutes before it was deleted, she says. This is like anything else in life, this is a teachable moment. Don't air your grievances on Facebook, especially after possibly throwing back a bottle of whiskey.
No, that broad is not drinking whiskey. That broad, she's drinking like naked grape wine or skinny bitch wine.
Oh yeah, girls' night out or something like that.
Girls' night out, some shit like that. Like
girly shit.
She's got $15,000 in the bank, and she spent about 5 of that on cases of wine to fucking drown her sorrows about her groom coming to his goddamn senses, and was like, "Get me the fuck out of here."
No shit, that was just a glimpse into what his future life was going to be like.
He was probably sitting there one day at probably like a rehearsal party or something, and he looked over at the sister who's the maid of honor, and he looks at her and he has a moment of clarity. The bride to be is probably like just fucking railing on a fucking priest or like the father. No, you're saying it wrong. And the dude looks over at the sister. And he goes, she's a crazy bitch, right? And the sister goes, yeah, she's fucking nuts. Mm-hmm. And the groom goes, I should probably fucking go. And the sister goes,
run, dude, run. The
sister goes, take me with you. And he goes, fuck yeah, let's go. And they fuck off.
Yep.
That's how I see this story going. So,
oh my God, I couldn't even begin to imagine what my family would have said if I had told them I wanted $1,500 from each of them.
Oh, mine would still be laughing. Mine would still be laughing at me. Like, you're fucking
I would be married.
Yeah. Oh, you want $1,500? No, fuck you.
I mean,
idiot.
shit, I think my entire wedding, meal included, cost $10,000.
Well, fuck. Okay, I got married on the cheap. Like I said, I had been with my wife for a couple of years. Then we decided to get hitched. It cost like $75 for a marriage license, and probably another $100 to get a. Wasn't justice of the peace. It was just an officiant.
Yeah.
So okay, my wedding cost me $200.
Yeah, ours was about $10,000. My mom made my dress for me, so I didn't have to buy a dress. She made it.
Yeah.
And we did it at the local hotel because they have this beautiful atrium where the pool is, and it's all open glass. Got married in March because we could do that on the cheap.
Nice.
And we had already planned to take our 2 boys to Florida for March break.
Oh, perfect.
And we decided we would get married the week before, and then that would be our honeymoon.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So,
yeah.
I mean, the biggest cost, my mom, being my mom, wanted a nice plated dinner.
Oh, here's KFC. They have plates.
We chose turkey, so everybody'd get, sleepy after and go to home. Unfortunately, that didn't quite work out.
Open bar?
No. We did have 2 fountains. Ooh. One was alcoholic and one wasn't. we weren't watching our youngest boy the entire time, and he was snitching out of the alcoholic fountain.
Attaboy.
So 1 o'clock in the morning when the DJ was packing up, he's still out there on the dance floor with one of the groomsmen.
Nice.
Meanwhile, we're like, we just want to go the fuck to bed, dude. I mean, we've been together for 4 years at this point, so it was basically just a party for the family.
Perfect. Yeah, that's basically like,
Yeah.
we got married. There was my mom, my dad, my brother, his wife. That was it. Preacher.
And
That was
I
it?
think if
Yeah.
it wasn't for the promise that he had made to his grandmother, we probably wouldn't have gotten married when we did.
Ah.
We had made the decision we were going to have one more child.
Yep. Then he wanted a legal one.
And this was a drunken New Year's Eve decision.
Oh, those are the best.
And we came home from, a really good New Year's Eve, and we were both bombed, and he promptly flushed all my birth control down the toilet. And we had talked to the doctor, and he said, it could take up to a year because you've been on it for so long. I mean, our boys were 8 and 10 at the time.
Yeah.
So I'd been, 8 years. And, 8 days later, I was pregnant.
I don't know.
And then
Holy cow, Phil.
my husband turns to me and he says, "Oh shit." Well, what do you mean, oh shit? No, dude. We talked about this. You can't say oh shit now. It's a little late for that. He had made his grandmother a promise that he would never have any kids out of wedlock.
Oh.
Now I had the boys before I met him. I've been with him since our middle boy was almost a year old, so he's dad to them.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, "Oh shit, I promised my grandmother I'd never have a child of my own out of wedlock." Do what now?
Is
keep in mind,
grandma still alive?
Not anymore.
No,
but
but
she was
at
at the
that
time.
point. Okay, at
the time, yes, she was. So was his grandfather.
Grandma would have been pissed.
Yeah. And considering she already kind of wasn't quite sure if she was fond of me. I brought her lilies for her birthday because they were pretty. Nobody told me they were funeral flowers.
Wow. So you wished Grandma an early death on her birthday.
Yeah.
Why didn't this woman like you?
I don't know. She liked me at the end. But now keep in mind, we got married in March. I got pregnant the 8th of January. We didn't find out I was pregnant till about the mid of February. We had 7 weeks to plan a wedding. 7.
It's possible.
Like, what the hell?
It's possible.
So I called my mom and I'm like, "Mom, guess what? You have 7 weeks to plan a wedding. Love you. Bye." She did.
Moms are great.
She's good at shit like that.
All right. We're at 53 minutes.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I got one more story, or do you want to...
Go.
All right. Okay. Toddler shows New York State Trooper drugs during mom's traffic stop.
Oh, no.
The girl had been... Yep. The girl had been turned over to relatives. The girl has been turned over to relatives, and Albany County Child Protective Services was notified of the arrest.
Oh, that's
wow,
not good.
That's fantastic. New York State Police say a toddler showed a trooper a bag of marijuana during a traffic stop, resulting in the arrest of the child's mother and the man she was riding with. Oh. State police say 2 troopers stopped a car Thursday outside of Albany, New York, and found the butt ends of marijuana cigarettes in the ashtray. And a 3-year-old girl who wasn't in a child's car seat.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
okay, so that kid needs to be taken away.
Yeah, the cops went, "What the?" They probably saw the kid rolling around in the back seat, and that's what probably made them pull him over. The police say while one of the troopers questioned the driver, the girl reached under a seat and showed the other trooper a bag of marijuana and a smoking pipe.
Oh, my God.
The 26-year-old man driving the car and the girl's 33-year-old mother were charged with child endangerment. The girl has been turned over to relatives, and Albany County Child Protective Services was notified of the arrest.
She's 3. You're still carrying a diaper bag. Hide that shit in the bottom of the diaper bag.
Yeah, well,
What the hell is wrong with these people?
lock your kid in a car seat so she can't get anything.
There's that too.
So,
Okay, I'm not making that mistake again, Kat.
yeah, so I figured that might be a pretty good story to end on. Is it? with legalization right around the corner for Canada, that is
The
cautionary
thing
tale.
is it's not going to change anything. They think it's going to cut down on drug crime and it's going to cut down on the illegal dealers and the people smoking it illegally. No. The people smoking it illegally are still going to smoke it illegally.
Yeah, and the people
they're already using it like it's legal.
Yeah, I said the people growing, like people growing it, aren't going to stop because
God no, because you're not going to get the quality
no
and the punch from the legal shit.
No, you're definitely not. But it's fucking crazy. But like I said, put your kids in a car seat, drive normally, keep your weed in the diaper bag where it's supposed to be. There's your moral of the story.
If you're going to do illegal shit, when you go out, make it look like you're legal.
Exactly. Hide it better.
Seatbelts, speed limits.
Yep.
Actually, don't drive right on the speed limit.
No, a little over, a little under.
They'll pull you over.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be snitching on your co-workers for fucking stealing ham either.
Share the ham.
Share the ham.
And don't ask your guests for fucking money to come to your wedding.
Yeah. Don't charge admission.
Don't charge admission.
That's
you pretty much. That's what she was doing.
That's exactly what that is. Don't charge admission to your wedding because nobody's coming. You fuck.
Unless you're famous and you're selling to the general public.
Even still, you're selling those pictures of your wedding to TMZ for $1 million. You're not going to get $1,500 from a fucking uncle from fucking buttfuck Idaho who's just coming in. Oh, look, Kim's getting married. Who the fuck? Just fucking don't charge. Don't be an asshole.
Just don't.
Okay,
Don't
that's the real moral of the story here.
Just don't.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah. All right. On that note, thank you.
All right.
Thank you again for stopping by this week. This has been Mike
and Stephanie
of the World of Myth Bits podcast. We will talk with you next week.
Got it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The World of Myth Bits.